It's Patrick from Vicious Computers, and welcome back to a Take 2 video. So sometimes you have to do something twice to do it right. In the original review video between the Anker and the EcoFlow 300 DC units, we did that head-to-head comparison, and we did all the basics like size, weight, features, inputs, outputs. So definitely go watch the initial video to get the review. Today we're just redoing a part of that review because we had some issues in the initial testing. Our EcoFlow unit was throwing us some errors, and I had to send it back for replacement to get a new one. And that way I could retest it just to give it a fair shot. So even though I might have a personal preference to the Anker unit, the EcoFlow still deserves a fair shot. So today it gets its fair shot, and you definitely want to stay tuned and watch the video because there's a couple of surprises you probably weren't expecting. Welcome back to basically take 2 of the Anker SOLIX C300 DC and the EcoFlow Trail 300 DC. Very close units to each other as far as what they offer. We did a full review already, and even though the review isn't supposed to be influencing you in what to purchase, because I don't like that term influencer anyways, I don't want to influence your purchase decision. I want the items to speak for themselves, but I can still have my own personal choice, and in my personal choice I preferred the Anker because it had more to offer. So it was still not really fair though, because the EcoFlow was defective, or at least it appeared defective. We were getting an overload problem. And also the dual charging didn't work. When we tried charging from USB and solar at the same time, it didn't work. And on the Anker it did. Now the battery capacity was like not really full. It was in the 80s, I think. So it shouldn't have been a problem, but someone said perhaps the battery was just too full to want to do the dual charging. So I have these very heavily discharged so that there will be no issues with that. And I have purchased a bunch of equipment between then and now to redo this test. So let me kind of like walk you through the setup. That old power supply I had was not powerful enough to max these out at low voltage because it couldn't have enough current. These guys support 30 amps, so I can max these out easy now. And last time I only had, my biggest charger was 100 watts. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different 140 watt chargers. So these 3 are Anker and that one's an EcoFlow. So what I want to do now is retest with everything. We're going to see if the same 100 watt charger that I used last time is going to cause an overload again on the replacement unit. That'll be the first thing we test. And then we'll try out some of these new high powered chargers and see how close to 140 watts we get between one port. And then we'll plug in a second port. And then we'll try just solar, and we'll try the low voltage and the high voltage. And then we're going to try the dual charging. So this is basically just a charging test is all we're going to focus on today. So with that, let's go ahead and get the lab set up and get walking through it. All right, the stage is set. I plugged in 2 of our 140 watt USB power chargers. Plugged in the 100 watt charger that caused us issues last time. We've got our power supply on standby. And our capacities right now, the Anker is at 37 and the EcoFlow is at 11%. So we're very low on our capacity. So I'm going to plug in that 100 watt charger first and see what happens. That's what I'm most curious about. Let's try the Anker, then let's try the EcoFlow. So it immediately picked it up and starting to negotiate power. This is a good time to point out one of the differences between these 2 units that could actually affect you. Remember I said I like the Anker better because it had more to offer. One of the things it offers is more USB ports. But one of the reasons that's also a super big bonus is the USB ports. 2 of them are bidirectional and one of them is only unidirectional. I have discovered that plugging in certain smarter devices into the bidirectional ports causes an issue. So if it's an intelligent device that also can charge or not charge, it will sometimes not negotiate who should be charging, who should be sending, and it just doesn't work. So I actually found the Anker to be a safer bet because you at least always have that one unidirectional high-powered USB port as an emergency option. And as far as this, it's pulling 96 watts, which is absolutely what we would expect with absolutely no issues. So now let's try it over here. And hopefully no more issues like last time. So far so good. We're getting 99, well. $99 and then it drops to overload. So this is on camera, guys. I haven't tried this test yet. It's overloading again with the same charger. That does not hurt the Anker. And this is I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you. So we still have a problem with the replacement unit. So assuming they didn't send me the same unit back because it took a month to get it back. This is a 100 watt GaN charger. It's actually one of the nice ones. You can tell from the heft, and I've already tested it. It sends the right USB protocols, it sends the right power, the right voltage. There's no reason this should be causing a problem. But because I figured that might happen, is why we have so many options, including I bought the EcoFlow. If the EcoFlow's own device causes an overload, then we got a problem. But also, you shouldn't have to buy stuff from your same brand just to use it. So let's try one of these new 140 watt chargers and see if we actually get 140 watts. And since they're identical chargers and identical USB cables, we can actually plug them both in. I'm getting 131 watts. And over here, 110, 111. Okay, so let this be the first thing to point out. Some people were saying that the bonus points for the EcoFlow because it has a slightly higher charging range. I don't think it's a big deal because that charging difference on the Solar is very minimal. And the capacity of these is not so great that it's going to make any real difference. But right now, just trying to charge it on USB, which is going to be the most common way you try to charge these, a 140 watt charger. This one and that one are exactly identical. This one on the screen is sending 132 watts. This one is sending 113 watts. That means that this power unit is accepting more power and charging faster. On screen, 131. Down here, 131. On screen, 111. Over here, 114. So that's okay. That's what it is. Let's try both chargers on one unit. Let's see if we can double that 130 to 260. I have 260 on screen. It actually did double it exactly. I see 133 coming out of this charger, 134 coming out of that charger, and on screen it says 261 watts. So you're actually getting double the charging speed by using two high-powered chargers. Let's try that same test over here. One charger, two chargers. What do we get? It's still at 110. It's not dual charging. It's not charging with both ports at the same time. Let me just make sure it's not one of those weird, crazy things where you gotta flip the USB cable around or anything nuts like that. No. No, it's not. It's just going to 110 and then it's stopping. I'm gonna flip this one around too. Yeah, so this one's giving us 130 from a single charger and 260 with two chargers. This one's giving us 110 by one charger and it's giving us 110 with two chargers. It's only pulling power from the top port and it's not pulling power from the second port when I have them both plugged in. For anyone that said it was because the battery was too full, this is at 12%. It is almost completely empty. So it is definitely not a battery capacity issue. Let's go ahead and, for the sake of things, try the actual EcoFlow and see if we get a better result. And then I have one more different Anker charger, although it shouldn't matter. So I only get 110 from the Anker charger. Can I, for some reason, get more than that from an EcoFlow charger? Yeah, a little bit. Not really, though. I'm getting 116 watts out of the EcoFlow charger instead of 100 and whatever. So it's getting 116 here, and it's sending 122 from there. Now, curious, this 116, what about the Anker using the EcoFlow? 115, 116. That's pretty interesting. So we're getting 116 on both devices. So it's almost like this can only send 116. I haven't tested this yet. I haven't done a performance test against that EcoFlow USB power bank. So maybe it does not actually perform up to its specs. And that would be something I should do a video on next, because if that's true, they're lying to us with their products. But this right now, yeah, 116 is the same. So this charger, 116 on both, but I can get more power to the Anker from these other chargers. But yet the EcoFlow does not. And further, it isn't working by charging on both ports at once. It's only working if I charge on a single port. So I'm going to try mixing the chargers. I just want to see if I can somehow get this to work. And we're still stopping at 110. So it's just not happening, guys. It's not happening. That's for now. Let's stop there with USB charging. Let's move into the solar, okay? So I'm going to use the big power station here, and we're going to be simulating solar. Now this one, I don't remember, 11 to 28 volts. So we're going to start with 11 volts on here. So I set it to 11 volts and 10 amps. It looks like it's drawing just shy of 8 amps. So we're sending out 87 watts. On the receiving side of that, we're getting 81 watts. So we're losing 6 watts of power through the conversion. And on the lowest possible voltage that this will run on, which is 11 volts, you can expect you can get, about 80 watts of power through it. Will it make a difference if we change the voltage? Let's go up higher. So if the voltage can go up to 28, let's set the voltage to 25. So with the higher voltage, we are getting more power. We're now sending 100 watts out, and the unit is receiving 96 watts. So here's the fun part. We're maxing out the solar. We're at 96 watts. What happens if we plug in a charger? Just jumped up. We're now at 227 watts. Can it handle solar and 2 chargers at the same time? This is actually kind of exciting. I don't know if it will. I haven't actually tried this yet. All right, it's at 228. Is it going to go up more? 260. It looks like that's where we're hitting our cap. 260. And we can do that if we turn off the solar, assuming that you have 2 140 watt chargers. You can get that 260 watts without using the solar. But in that situation, the solar is not going to give you more because you're already maxing it out with just USB charging. But you are able to take one USB charger and solar and then combine those together. And it makes sense if I was to use this 100 watt charger and the other 100 watt charger, I would only have 200 watts, and then I could grab the extra 60 from solar. So this definitely is very well made. It supports any charger I throw at it, and it always combines the charging together to give us a maximum of about 260 watts, no matter how you slice it. Now the EcoFlow, we thought my original one was defective. This is the replacement. We saw that it still has an overload problem using this charger for no good reason. And we see that it has slower charging than the Anker with a high-powered USB charger. And we saw that the dual USB charging isn't working at all. I don't know why. And it has a very low battery capacity, so it's not a capacity issue. So the last thing to do with this is try to combine USB and solar. Will it work? I mean, we got to figure it out, and let's test its full solar range. So yes, we do support 10 volts on this one. So it goes from 10 volts to 30 volts. So it has a slightly different voltage range. So we'll dial in 10 first. It's slowly climbing up. We're sending 40 watts. 50, 60. It looks like we stopped right at 60. So we're sending 67. Oh, and it just dropped. 80. It's struggling. It's slowly climbing and climbing. So it looks like about 85 watts is where it's decided to stop. And it's doing pretty good about the translation between solar input and what it receives. It actually just jumped up even more. So we're actually getting the full 100 watts almost, and 96 there. So that's good. It actually, oh, there it just drops to 0 though. It doesn't really like the minimum voltage. It does work, but it's dropping here and there because it's like right at the limit. So let's just bump that up to 25. And that should make it much more happy. Make it decide to run like it's supposed to. All right, so here we're getting 167 watts out, receiving 100 and, well, it just dropped. Huh, it's still negotiating. Let's let it settle here. That was just a surge apparently. So now it's settling down at 113 watts out, 113 watts in. So it does really good about the power coming from solar. The MPPT in there is actually pretty efficient, but the USB charging side is definitely leaving a lot to be desired. And now that the solar is stable, what can we do? Can we add more power through additional charging? So we're at 113. There it is, working this time. So 200, 230, 245. And it's settling about 245 watts. So it looks like dual charging between one USB port and solar is working, but dual charging between two USB ports is not working. It looks like, honestly, you can get a faster charging speed out of this one because we were getting 260 watts out of this one if my short-term memory didn't already fail me, versus the 245. I definitely know we were getting way more power out of USB charging, which is honestly how most people are going to recharge these. Most people are not going to take this little thing and charge it on a solar panel. But I just think it's neat to have the solar panel as an extra. So we came back, we spent more money for this just to retest it, just to give it a fair shot. And now you see the results. I'll let you draw yourself your own conclusions as to which product you think is better and why. This is just an objective testing. So I hope you enjoyed the video and the time it took to come back and redo this. Once again, this was Patrick from Vicious Computers, and I'll see you next time.